What up, brother Shaolin Fantastic? I'm rolling. I'm in H-Town. Well, I'm not quite in H-Town. I'm like right outside of Conroe. You can tell like when you're getting closer in, you know, traffic starts tightening up once you get close to like Conroe and Huntsville. Pretty much before that, before you get to Buckets, it's pretty much a barren trip. Kind of a trip where you could, and I think I talked about this before, you could just like think about some things, you know, do a little meditation on the road, you know, all while you're paying attention to the road and shit. But yeah, I'm in H-Town. I'm in Joseph Tenney's neck of the wood, and Stephen Rose and Honcho and Wink. I'm in the neck of the woods down here in Houston. I like Houston. Houston cool with me. You know, I always have fun when I come down here. I'm gonna be down here for the weekend, shaking the tail feather. But yeah. I wanted to comment on, and I had been putting this off for a minute because I wanted to, I had a few things I need to mull over. On brother Art Benaca, he was talking about Haiti and the clash between Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and I wanted to comment on it for a second. There was two things in particular that I wanted to touch on: the corruption and the personal level versus the government level. And it seems to me like, okay, you know, I go to the Dominican Republic, and there's people that I know that live down there, and there are some guys that I know, some men, you know, that I talk to. And one of the guys, he's Dominican, and he lives in Santiago. And I spent a little time in Santiago. Santiago's nice. It's a very nice city. And I had a real good time down there. And one of the things we discussed, his best friend is Haitian. And he goes to Haiti all the time. But whenever there's a situation like this, he avoids Haiti. He doesn't go. Because I asked him about it. And he said, well, he can't really go right now. You know, he talks to his friend every now and again. But he can't really go to Haiti like that. Not right now because of the clashing and the stuff that's on the border and things like that. But what I noticed, and like I said, you could correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm certainly not an expert on this. I'm just going off of what I hear. But, you know, and what I talk to people that's on the ground, because I've talked to Haitians and I've also talked to Dominicans. So just from talking to them in a general sense, my general consensus was, and just, not just him, but like a bunch of different Haitians and Dominicans. You know, one thing you notice is that I do, is that Haitians don't, I'm talking about Haitians on a personal level, don't really hate Dominicans, and Dominicans don't really hate Haitians. I've heard like Haitians and Dominicans joke around a little bit in like a friendly competition kind of thing, and I'm sure that there's incidents of, you know, several, you know, incidents here and there of Haitians and Dominicans, you know, getting into it. But most of the time when you hear about this tension and friction and things between Haitians and Dominicans, to me, from where I sit, it's mostly governmental stuff. It's like on a high level. It's not individual Haitians and Dominicans. You know, it's always like this recent border clash, or, you know, some sort of disagreement that government officials or high-level officials in each country have with each other. It's normally that, you know, like, but when you're there, you see Haitians all over the place, and you know, I never see an incident where it's just like warring in the streets and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I do understand, and he did discuss with me that there are certain like Dominicans may be a little, you know, just a little mad with Haitians here and there because of certain issues. Like Haitians are hired because they'll do cheap labor work, and that's one thing I noticed. I saw a lot of, whenever I saw construction workers, they were mostly Haitian. They were like, you know, I would go over and, you know, like talk to some of those guys, and they were mostly Haitian. I mean, you would see, like, one time I was riding through the mountains, like way up in the mountains, and they were doing road work up there, and for the most part, from what I saw, what it looked like to me, I didn't get a chance to ask you, but it looked like Haitians, and everybody says that, that they do that kind of work there, and the Dominicans mostly do like working on the resorts and things like that. That's what I do. I go stay in a resort whenever I go down there, and whenever I talk about that stuff, I get real interested, and I just want to know, because I'm not an expert in any sort of way about it. But it is, when you're down there, it is good to ask those questions. It just seems to me, that the problems between those two countries are political. They're like on a political level, and the major clashes are, usually stem from it's just governmental stuff. It's just, on that level. That's not to say that there's some Haitians that don't hate that hate Dominicans, and there's some Dominicans that hate Haitians. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm just saying, from my experience and what I've seen and what I've observed of those countries, being that I do know a lot of Haitians and Dominicans, and I have been to the Dominican Republic, never been to Haiti, but I have seen a lot of Haitians in the Dominican. And you know what I know? What else I noticed? More Haitians can speak English than Dominicans. I mean, most of those Haitians down there can speak French, English, and Spanish. So I mean, you have to give them kudos for that. I mean, most of the ones, not all of them, but most of those Haitians down there can speak, 3 languages. And also, what I wanted to talk about was the corruption, because Brother Benaca brought that up about the corruption in Haiti as opposed to, the Dominican Republic, and the type of effect that the corruption has on the people. And I would say that that's true. I would say this. There's corruption in every government. Anywhere you go, there's going to be corruption. It doesn't matter where you go in this world. I mean, government officials are synonymous with corruption. I believe that there's a level of corruption that most people are willing to put up with. In America, I mean, lobbying congressmen and things like that, that's legal. In a lot of countries, that would be considered illegal. So what we've done in America is made kind of corruption legal here. The things that, probably wouldn't be acceptable in most countries, like lobbying, congressmen to change laws. You can actually pay congressmen. You can give them money and to make laws or change laws or whatever. That's why people say, the politicians don't control the U.S. government. The corporate America controls the U.S. government, and that's true. In a lot of instances, that's very true. So, things that would be considered corrupt is just legal here. So you got to be pretty damn corrupt in the United States to be considered, to break the law, because we do have a little leeway here in certain instances. It just depends on what level of government that you're in, or things like that. But the corruption in Haiti. Now, I don't know much about it. All I know is what I'm going off of what you said, but it does seem to be very, very, very. The corruption is very heavy in Haiti. Because I remember that, and I donated to that when that earthquake happened, and it was like billions of dollars. I'm not quite sure the amount, but that money disappeared. Nothing ever changed down there. That money just disappeared, and we know it didn't just disappear. Somebody, stole the money. Now, well, I'm sure it wasn't one person. I'm sure it was spread amount over like a bunch of corrupt politicians, and the people didn't get anything. So, you see some sort of corruption like this in the States. There are corrupt cities. I think I remember watching Nightline. There was a corrupt city somewhere in California where these sheriffs were paying themselves, these guys were sheriffs, and all of them were making like 100 and something grand a year, just base salary, and they were just doing all kind of crazy stuff. And you see this, but like I said, that level of corruption in Haiti, that bankrupts governments. That leaves people poor and hungry on the street. That fucks with the people. And when the people in Haiti rise up, I can't really get too angry with them, for doing that, for rising up and trying to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? I noticed something when I was in Santiago, and because Dominican Republic, although considered a third world country, is an emerging economy. Santiago, Santo Domingo, Puerto Plata are all nice cities. They are Punta Cana. Punta Cana might as well be an American city. It's got America. I think they're even considering, like, when you fly into Punta Cana, you ain't even got to show your damn passport if you're from America, because so many Americans go there. Most people tell me that Punta Cana may as well just be another. People follow the traffic laws and shit, but when you go outside of there, you go anywhere else, you see people cutting up, on the roads, and it's like a very high accident rate there. A lot of people get killed there. Like, I remember, like, one year when I went down there, 2 baseball players, Major League Baseball players that were from the Dominican were killed. Traffic accidents. Accidents over there ain't nothing. It ain't nothing over there. I mean, that's just, you see people getting scraped up off the ground all the time. So, but yeah, that kind of leads, more into the laws that that the Dominican Republic can build on and fix on. But yeah, Haiti's corrupt. I believe everybody knows that Haiti is a very corrupt government. This is something that people have been knowing for years and a very long time, and it's going to take the Haitian people to. I agree with you. It's going to take the Haitian people to clean it up. And another thing I wanted to mention. Like I said, even though that the Dominican Republic is considered a third world country, but an emerging economy, I saw when I was on my way to the airport one night, and it was at night. My flight left early in the morning, and in the Dominican Republic they have these trash revolts, where and I happened to be in the middle of one of these things, and it was a trash revolt where these people throw burning trash in the middle of the street because things are getting too high, like gas. Gas is extremely high in the Dominican Republic for some reason, and they export gas. They export, oil, and it's extremely high down there, and especially compared to the States. And they had this trash revolt where they threw some trash in the road, and the guy that was driving us to the airport, car went on flat. And see, what they'll do is, if you run through one of those things and your car come on flat, somebody will come out and rob you. You can get robbed. So luckily, the Dominican police were out there heavy, and they helped us get the car back rolling and get us to the airport. It was a pretty cool deal. They do have a heavy police presence in the Dominican Republic from what I saw, but they don't really fuck with the tourists as within Colombia. That's a different story. I just came back from Colombia, and those motherfuckers will shake you down, will check your ass anywhere you are. They don't fucking play over there. But that's another story I get into. But yeah, the corruption level in Haiti is fucking sad, man. It's fucking sad, and I really hate it for them, because the Haitians, from what I've understand, and the Haitians that I've met, much like you, Mr. Benaca, are very proud people, very people that I consider, that I hold in high regards. The ones that I met, I hold in high regards. I used to date a Haitian lady. She was my dental tech for a long time, and man, she was very nice. She was divorced though, and she was in a very abusive relationship, and she surprisingly did not want to get married or anything like that. She just wanted to have a good time and hang out and enjoy my company. She was a very, very nice person, but she was like one of the first Haitians I came in contact with when I moved to Dallas. So, you know, that's all I say. I love Haitians, man. I love Haitian people. I love Dominican people. I really do. They all seem to be very nice people, but the governments, the people that are on top, are corrupt. I don't think that the Dominican Republic government is not corrupt. The Dominican Republic have corrupt politicians in it too. It just may be a little less corruption, a lot less corruption in the Dominican Republic than it is in Haiti. But in my opinion, you know, the corruption is much more heavy in Haiti. But that's my video, brother. And I hope that satisfies you. Got any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. Again, I'm not any sort of expert on it. I'm still studying that region and that area. I'm still studying. I'll be watching your videos, and I get a lot of my information from you, brother. But from my point of view and the people that I've talked to, that's what I've gathered from that. So, all right, man. Look, you all have a good day, man. I'll holler at you later. And thanks for the topic, Mr. Brother Benaca. And anybody else that want to comment, you know, you can set me straight. I may have got some things wrong because, like I said again, I'm not an expert. All right, guys. Y'all have a good day.